Hey guys, this is Levi back here. We're working on a starter today. Not just any starter though, it's for a 1962 Cadillac Series 63 Sedan DeVille. I guess Series 63 DeVille, Sedan DeVille, depends what software you're looking at, what they have it listed as. So finding the starter was quite a chore because yes, I could have went down to the auto parts store and I could have bought myself another starter. Thing is, all the ones they had were nothing like these 1960s starters here. They had the much smaller motor, and they had like the what's it called? The gear reduction in them so they could achieve having the smaller motor and less torque, and they didn't look anything like it or anything along the lines. And me being the way I am, I like to keep things factory and especially factory appearing. So I thought I could find just an appendix because mine is completely melted. So this car I just picked up 2 days ago now, 3 days ago, and I don't know if you guys can see this appendix, how it's all melted, and surprisingly enough, this appendix actually is not shorted out yet, and that's why it's so clean. I cleaned it up in hopes of maybe getting a couple cranks out of it and hearing this car run for the first time. Well, once I found out this guy wasn't shorted out, and got it all cleaned up, ready to work, well, then I discovered these guys were shorted out. The windings around the magnets completely burnt. And so can't use it. And called everywhere trying to find just parts to rebuild this one. And called a lot of shops that advertise that they rebuild starters. Well, the thing is, they don't actually rebuild starters. Well, I mean, okay, they throw brushes in your starter and give it a paint job. That's what a rebuild consists of. And I mean, I literally called 50 plus shops in every surrounding state around me and could not find anyone that truly would rebuild this starter. So what did I do? Found the closest junkyard to me that had a 1960s GM product in it. This one being that it came off a 1969 Buick. And here's what we just got. And it does work, but problem being, the snout on it, completely different, and how it mounts, completely different. So I can't just put this starter in there. So what we're gonna do is, but from here back is all the same. We're going to take this starter apart and put this snout on it. As you see, the bolts come in through the end of this one, kind of like a tractor starter, an old tractor starter, compared to where this one's more like a modern car starter where the bolts go up through the bottom of it to bolt it up. So stay tuned and let's see if we can't make this thing fire up. So, let's start with taking these starters apart, seeing what we can't get. Yeah, I got 1,000,001 projects going on as always, so bear with me. All right. In this one here, we're not going to paint it up and make it look pretty yet. That will happen, but initially I just want to make sure that it's going to work before I go through the trouble of cleaning it all up and painting it. So step one here is let's make this thing work. Then we'll make it look pretty. So what we're doing here first is the starter solenoid. Unbolting the little hinge or whatever you want to call for it so I can pull this appendix up out of there. So just that bolt right there we just pulled. I think I can get away without pulling the solenoid. We'll find out. Yep. All right. So there, we got the armature out. And as you can see, it was pretty well burnt. I'm surprised that it is not shorted, but it wouldn't have been long till it did. The next time it got hot, it probably would have. So, I mean, it's a good thing we're just going this route anyways, instead of, well, me ended up somewhere not starting. This one's loose because the people at the salvage yard, they were cool enough to let me pull it apart when I was there and just make sure that it wasn't completely burnt like the one I have, which was very awesome and very kind of them. And big shout out to, what was it? Oh, Highway 101 Auto Parts or Salvage or something like that. They're based out of Tiffin, Ohio. If you need any parts, get a hold of those guys. Very friendly, family-owned company. And it's actually the first time I've dealt with them was on this. And now I know where I'm going to go anytime I'm looking to get parts. They're very pleasant. And everything about the exchange I enjoyed. So, here we go. Whew, good thing I got some new brushes. This thing's brushes are dang near non-existent. Yep, I better just put in the new brushes. All right, so we're going to be using that one. This one is the one that's burnt. This armature here is also the one that's burnt. I may have to get this gear off of here. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out here in just a second. Yes, I think it's only going to be best if we're looking at these here. Trying to find the best angle for you guys. This, the teeth on this one, much longer than the other. That's about the only difference. But I think just to be safe, so I don't put it in there and tear up the flywheel or anything, I need to get this guy off and change the two between each other. And then I know for certain it will work. Before I do that though, I'm going to put this one inside of my housing and just make sure it all fits. Oh yeah. Yep, that's going to be just fine. All right, so that's a success. This will definitely work. So we need to get this little snap ring off of here. Let's see here. Let me go grab a little hammer to tap that guy down. And just like that, you just give that a tap and with a socket over it, and it lets this collar slide down off of the snap ring. Then you can get it off of here and slide all these goodies off the end. And you know, since I have to do this, and yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm not best with all my technical terminology. I know how to make them work. All the technical terms when it comes to everything, not so much. So, since I am having to pull this off, I am just going to take it over to the wire wheel and clean this one all up. No reason not to while I got it apart. The more, well, no. Part of me says, well, just go ahead and clean it all up. The other part of me says, well, don't waste your time until you know it's going to work for sure. But then the other part of me says, why not just put it on the car and not know I don't have to take it back off if it works correctly. But at the end of the day, the motor is going to get painted. So sooner or later, it is going to come back off the car. 6 one, a half dozen another, right? One of those gigs. Ouch. Whew. Keep stabbing myself. Thing seems like it should slide right up off there, but it's just barely holding on. Every time I try to pop it, ouch! I stabbed myself like that. Whew. Man, that's already my gnarled finger. Got a bunch of splinters in this finger a few days back and ended up cutting it and got some battery acid in the cut. That's just kind of been a sore finger. Here I am gouging it up with a screwdriver more. I know in the service manual, I got the service manual for this car, which is really cool. I love when old cars like this come with that. Not only is it, helpful for me when it comes to getting them going again, but it also tells me that the previous owner maybe kind of took care of it, better than average. Maybe they were going through the service manual like they should have been. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. I guess it's just cool to get the service manual with them. I always like it. Little booger. Come on now. You puke. What the? So close, but yet so far. I get halfway up off there and I slip and it pops right back down into place. Let's see here. What is the best way to get this off here? And I'm sure there's guys watching this that are like, oh, you're supposed to do this or that. Well, leave it down in the comments what you have found best to get this little snap ring off the end. I guess I could go grab a pair of snap ring pliers, but I don't think I'd be able to spread this one enough to get it off. It's just a steel ring, a collar. Ah, man. It's been a bit of a booger, honestly. Just need to pop up off there. Come on now. Oh, so close. There we go. Oh, that is a tight fit around there. No wonder it kept popping back on. That's the little guy I was fighting with. We got it now, though. So now that is off, we're going to put that right here. This is based on how those brushes are 8. This is the one we're using. Yes, it is. This is the housing we need, the snout. So now that that snap ring's off of there, which that snap ring was right here in this groove, this collar was up around it, holding it closed. Now all of this will come right off the end. This is what I need to change over to mine. This guy is the exact same as mine, which is totally awesome. So we got this guy off. Let's put that right there. This is going to go in the we're not using pile as well as all of this we're not using either. That's all for the Buick starter. Now we need to go on this one, do the same thing, which we're going to use that spacer. Put the socket back over the top, give it a little tap, that lets it pop right down like so. And let's see if we can get this one off any faster than we did the other one. Ooh, man. Always got to poke myself. Come on. At halfway off, now it's right back to where we started. Let's just... Oh. Now, come on, you puke. Oh, man. This chest here, I guess you can't see it in the photos now. That tool chest I got there in the back, I actually was going to try, doing a little roadkill action and roadkilling this car home. But then the starter was completely smoked and it was Sunday, and called some of the parts stores. It was getting late and none of them could have a starter for like a week. So I just ended up going back down the next day with a trailer and trailering it home. It made most sense. I was hoping to maybe give you guys some good content though and get a little roadkill action going, but we couldn't make it happen. If this starter wasn't completely smoked like it was, we would have made it happen, but she was smoked. So here we go. This is the drive we need here. And if you look, you can see the difference between the gears here. So this is the Cadillac, this is the Buick. We're going to clean this one up and put it on the Buick armature. And the Buick armature is going into this Cadillac snout with the Buick housing. In theory, it should work. Let's see what we got here. So I'm going to take this armature here. Let's take this armature over, and I want to clean it up a little bit. She's looking a little dirty, a little grimy, a little rusty. Probably hasn't started a motor in 20 plus years. So we're going to go, actually what I'm going to do, and I know people are going to frown on it, I'm going to put this end in my drill press's chuck. I'm not going crazy tight, so don't worry, I'm not going to demolish the shaft. And then I'm just going to use a piece of sandpaper and clean it all up, get her looking shiny. this guy, and this guy. And we might clean up the rest of everything while we're at it. And, you know, I'm not going to wait on paint, but I might as well clean it all up. It's easiest while it's apart like this. So I'm going to pause the video and go set up at the drill press.